All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome back to a Clearmud live stream. Whoop. Why is that cut off? Interesting. There we go. Good afternoon, Mr. Baker. How we doing today? I was looking at that. Let's also... I think I'm going to start off in Hermes today. Actually, I was just watching a video before, and I kind of want to do what was it called when we would watch a movie or a video in class? It was called something. I think we're gonna do that today for about 10 minutes. In a second. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Yeah, so this is an account I follow. He's very talented in DaVinci Resolve. So anytime I have questions or I'm just trying to consume content learning about how to edit better, I come across this channel, and he released this video 12 days ago. And it's just how he's approaching Claude, incorporating Claude into his workflow. Now, he still works predominantly out of DaVinci Resolve, but I do want to watch through this entire video. I skimmed it, and a lot of things caught my eye that I want to incorporate into this coming week's videos. So I think we're going to start off this live stream. Damn, what's it called? Movie day? I forget what it's called, but it's it used to have a term. Maybe the term has changed for kids nowadays. But yo, what's up, Maestro? Welcome back. How we doing today? No, it's not movie day. It's man, that's gonna bug me. Anyway, without squirrel ado, I'm just gonna consume these three parts really quickly.
Bit different. So you head over to claude.ai/design, create an account, which for the
we know how to do that.
The AI over the transcript, it'll only export this section. So if you want to create some motion graphics for a video that you're editing, then you'll want to give Claude Design an audio file of that part of the video, along with a transcript. So the easiest way to do this for my intro is by moving the playhead to the start of the timeline. Hit I on my keyboard to set an in point, then move the playhead to the end of the section I want the graphics for, and hit O. That creates the in and out points, so that when I hit export, it'll only export this section. And then on the deliver page, I'm going to untick export video and then set the audio format and the codec to MP3. So this just exports an MP3 file of the audio. So I'll export this out, which gives me this file, which I'm then going to drop into the chat box down here. Next, the AI also needs a transcript of what's being said, along with the timings of when each line has been spoken. And this is really easy to get in DaVinci if you're on the studio version. So I'm just going to add that MP3 to the media pool, right click on it and come to AI tools, audio transcription, and then transcribe. In the bottom right down here, I can see it's transcribing in the background, and then when that's gone, it means it's done. Now if I come to the same transcribe button again, you can see it's transcribed it here. Now to get this into the right format for Claude Design with all of the timings on it, we just need to click these three dots and hit export subtitles, and then just make sure it's exporting an SRT file. And then inside of this SRT file, you can see all of the timings of every few words, so the AI knows exactly when these words are being spoken in the MP3. Next, I just drag this file into the chat, so it's now got the voiceover, the transcript, my brand guide, and it knows that I want an animation. So now I'm just going to give it a prompt of exactly what I want, like this, and then hit send. Now it's going to do its thing, and sometimes it might ask you a couple of questions, but
I want you to create the visuals to go along with the voice. It needs to use design system, so he did set that up ahead of time. Obviously, the animations need to be slow and clean and match what I'm talking on screen. I don't want there to be too much text on screen, mainly icons and motion graphics. Okay.
and hit send. Now it's going to do its thing, and sometimes it might ask you a couple of questions, but it doesn't take more than a few minutes. And then when it's done, you can play it back in the browser here. It probably won't be perfect. I had to go back a few times and ask it to change the way that it was animating because it was looking a bit weird. But after a few messages, you can get there, and it looks pretty good. It doesn't actually let you download a video file of the animation. So at the moment, you can either make it full screen and then just screen record it like I did, or you're able to send it to Claude Code and then get Claude Code to let you download it. But
that's funny.
Complex. So once I had my screen recording, I would just add it to my timeline above my A roll, and that's it. Those motion graphics were done. So this might all sound great, but there are some pretty big downsides to it. The first downside is the cost. On the Pro plan, you get it is making changes. So if you've got your AI motion graphics in your timeline like this,
because it's like it's created through Claude, so making changes to the graphics itself is
will change with your own graphics. Then you can just do it and then move on to the rest of the credit. And this leads me on to the third downside, which can be the time it takes in this.
I see that.
So if I'm not going to be using this to create my own motion graphics, then how exactly will I be using it to speed up my editing? Well, here's the first of 3 ways. Something that I sometimes struggle with in video editing is coming up with ideas on how to visually show something. And then I'll try a bunch of different stuff and then realize that none of them look any good, and I've just wasted an hour of my time. But thanks to Claude Design, I can come up with multiple ideas in just a few minutes. So if I'm really struggling to come up with a visual way of showing how long, say, the average DaVinci Resolve user spends on each page in Resolve, for example, then I can just put in this prompt to Claude Design, asking it for this as a motion graphic and for it to give me some different options. And then it'll build me a few as a motion graphic.
What's he referencing though? Oh, so I'm guessing the animated video, okay.
And for it to give me some different options. And then it'll build me a few options like this. I can have a look through these and start getting ideas of what could work. So I've gone from struggling to think of a way to show this data and losing an hour of time to then having 4 or 5 good options that I can see right in front of me. And if I like this option, for example, then I can just go into Resolve and build it myself. And it's to have
he's talented enough to build it himself. So like, that tip is great if you're fluent in DaVinci Resolve Studio, which I'm not. I'm still learning. So let's go check out the second way. I'm curious.
It's something that I haven't
I love that.
seen anyone talking about. So when I was editing lots of images and screen recordings of different bits, create me some kind of plugin script that can do all of that for me. So I opened up Claude and said to it, can you create me a Lua script for DaVinci Resolve that colors all title clips in the title
Okay, that's
path,
cool, but
and if you're clips.
I don't want that.
Exactly. I even used
if
you make your own script, I want a graphic
this is the one that caught my eye the
5
most.
bits of text going from left to right with a line underneath it. I can give Claude this prompt saying, give me a Lua code to create 5 text plus nodes that are all spaced out equally from left to right in the viewer with a horizontal line below them, like a timeline graphic with small lines sticking out from the line towards each text. It will then give me this code, and then all I have to do is add a Fusion composition to the timeline, open it up in the Fusion page, open up the console, and paste that code in here, and then hit enter. And then as you can see, it's just instantly created that for me.
Oh, that's a great use case for it. Because this, I don't know how to do this manually.
Spaced out.
But I know how to visualize it, and I know how to ask for it, right? So having Claude...
And it's exactly what I had in my head as well. And if you're not someone who's confident in Fusion, then this can actually be quite a good way of seeing how things are built, because you can see here it's used masks to create the lines. So the masks are going into the background nodes like this, and then you've got all of these merge nodes here. So each one is just merging on top of the previous one. And then you've also got each text here, which can be edited by clicking on them and then just changing the text up here. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy around.
Interesting. I like it. I like it. All right, movie time over. Listen, that one was for me. I really didn't want to backlog watching that video.
Each text here with...
But go give him a sub if you're into DaVinci Resolve. You know what I mean? Let's catch up on comments. Forgive me. I was really focused on that video there. You said it in your last stream. I don't know what you're thinking of. It's there was a term for it. I'm sure the term has changed quite a bit. I mean, don't we all? Yeah, I mean, to an extent, right? I don't think AI is at a point where it could create a start to finish that is, depending on your expectations and quality that you desire in your videos, I don't think it's there to where AI can just do it from start to finish. But using, for this, in this example, Claude, to create these scripts to achieve a certain motion graphic or to achieve a certain, you know, fusion layer, like that's such a time saver. That's insane. And I'm still learning more about DaVinci Resolve. So it's like, I'm already having ideas for, you know, I always save intro ideas. And now I'm wondering, could I give Claude a start frame and an end frame to an intro that's about 3 seconds and then have it animate from start to finish? And then have me layer that on as a fusion layer? I'm sure I'm going to spend a lot of hours tinkering with this week, but I really want to apply the lessons from that video into these 2 videos that will drop this coming week on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm stoked. Do we have a questionnaire to accompany? No, we don't. What's up, F World? Yo, cross-eyed sensei, let's go. I remember you. I know it's been a while. Wait, have you never tuned into a live stream? I know I've seen your comments before, so maybe it was a comment from a video, but hey, thank you. I appreciate the support, appreciate the feedback. Glad you're here. Yo, Maestro, hit the likes for movie day. Yeah, it's not movie day all day, but you know. What's up, Ryan? Hey, welcome to the coffee crew. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the sub. Really appreciate you, man. Cheers to that. What was he doing in Fusion? You want me to pull that back up? So he was essentially, first he used Claude as like an idea concept type of thing, right?
A bit easier.
Where he obviously has his own design skill in there. But what he was doing in this last section is creating an animated timeline. But this was generated by first a Lua script that then, you know, you paste the file into the DaVinci Resolve folder on the machine, and then you run the script within Resolve, and it generates these nodes autonomously for you, right? Based off of what you wanted, you know, what you had Claude help you design. And it essentially just saves time from having to create this timeline effect manually, right?
And it's exactly what I had in my head as well.
Yeah. And I do, don't get me wrong, I like the second way, but I think this is more his use case because he's an editor for other creators. So when he goes through a timeline, he color codes things depending on what it is, if it's a motion graphic, if it's a text, etc., etc. So he created a script that automatically colors everything depending on what it is and what timeline it's on, which is a cool use case for his craft. I don't think I'll ever need to create a script for that. I go through my timeline manually and I color code things. I don't have other editors doing this for me, at least not yet, because I want to learn DaVinci. I enjoy it. So, right on, right on. Yeah, work in time zone. I know this is work hours. Well, hey, Cross-Eyed Sensei, thank you once again for the sub. Welcome to the coffee crew. I hope you enjoy a cup of coffee as well this morning. Yeah, I won't be having an espresso for a while because all I have here is this French press. I don't have that in-wall coffee unit at this apartment, sadly. Yeah, graphics for the video. So I use the edit screen. I don't know what all the modules are called. Let's see. Like one workaround I've personally been doing is I'll just go into Google Flow. Now you do need to have a certain sub you can't use it for free, but I can go add in source images and then create animations And then I'll just add that to the beginning or like somewhere in there. But like these tricks that he's giving, it's like you can now create your own graphics on screen and then edit the text lines and things like that. So it's pretty nifty. It's pretty nifty. I'm stoked. All right, let's see. Where did we stand off yesterday or leave off yesterday? What was I doing? Yeah, this weekend was more of a personal weekend for me. I'm really trying to kind of separate the two. Even though we're posting videos on the weekend, it's like for the most part, it's all personal. And finished my spring cleaning. This feels like a home again and an office. And then worked on my personal bot, my personal OC bot, which is weird that on Muddy, I think it's because of the amount of work I've done on Muddy and like the amount of context and SOPs that I have in place to where GPT-5.5 on medium reasoning is solid. But on my personal bot with 0 SOPs, right? We're just we're in that discovery phase. We're kind of building things out, trying to optimize personal time. GPT-5.5 medium reasoning is honestly like the word I want to use is canceled, so I can't use it. But it's pretty stupid. Like it's, I had to bump it up to high reasoning, and now it's becoming more effective for me. But it was an interesting discovery. Yeah, and honestly, I do all of my edits on the fly. Like I don't spend too much time planning. I drag everything on the timeline. I drag this front-facing camera. I drag my screen share on the timeline. I adjust the audio first, and then I'll cut the intro and the outro, and then the center I'll style with this border. I'll move it off to the right. The center I'll style with a border and a drop shadow. And then I get to cutting down like the meat of it. And then I work on the intro and the outros last. The outros are usually very simple. The intros are what require more time, obviously. But yeah, that's usually my workflow. Usually the workflow. DeLonghi. What's DeLonghi? There's a Premiere MCP skill on. If I ever get my mini, I'll have to try that out. Nice, nice. 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 Yo, what's up, For Soil? Welcome back. Oh, that's right. We were doing Chat Bubble. It's coming back to me. Current modified files. All right, I'm going to update. I don't even need to tell him that. Let's just go into the dashboard. Update Hermes. It's been a few days since I've updated. Possibly even a week. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, to me, I like my French press. Oddly enough, I miss this French press. They don't make them like this in Europe. They make cheap ones. Like, I haven't been able to find a good quality one over there, so I'm probably gonna buy a stainless steel. This is stainless steel on the inside. It just has this orange enamel on the outside. I'm gonna bring one of those to Europe next time I go back. Oh, okay, very nice. You know, I've never updated Hermes through the dashboard like this. I usually go into the CLI, so I'm curious to see what the difference is. Because I know when I do it in the CLI, I have to hit yes a few times. And I don't see any yes prompts here, so interesting. Nah, you have to run it yourself. Yeah, I know they announced 0.14, if I'm not mistaken, or 1.14. Let's see, where is... Yeah, version 0.14. And I believe this was over the weekend, right? Yeah, yesterday. Ooh, they have a Windows beta now. Okay. But yeah, what I'm concerned about is the update. It's gonna, like, at least in the CLI, it always asks me to confirm yes or no for a few things. So let's see what happens. Ah, okay. I'm sure they thought of it, right? But what's interesting is it's taking an awfully long time here. I can't say that through the CLI an update has taken this long in the past. I'm guessing he's paying API credits for Higgins field or whatever. Higgins field, right? I thought it was Higgs field for some reason. That's just the way my brain read it. But I'm sure if he's within the CLI, he doesn't need to use API credits on Anthropic. I could be wrong. Okay, nice, nice. Discovered that agent profiles can have their own dashboards. Now I have many dashboards. Maybe we'll work on that today. Well, maybe we'll test that today, rather. Ah, okay, yeah. I didn't think you would use API credits for your Claude sub, especially in the CLI. Yeah, this Hermes update in the dashboard. Let's do a hard refresh here, huh? I'm just gonna go do it manually. That's just how I prefer it. Ooh, what's this? Device memory is nearly full, huh? Oh, that was hours ago. All right, can I just clear all these? There you go. Oh, I guess it had finished, but it didn't. Interesting. Hard refresh. TY is taking a while to spin up on this one, huh? We'll do a quick restart. Right here, I mean, by default, it will use subagents whenever it makes sense. But the best approach, right, is to visualize how you want your Hermes agent to work. And just specify, say, hey, for any front, like, and I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying this is how you should talk to your agent, but, you know, hey, I'd like you, whenever we're doing any front end UX or UI or research related tasks, I want you to spin up a subagent and call on Claude in the CLI, assuming you have that configured, right? And use interactive mode to get that work done via Claude Code. And then anything backend and security, spin up a different subagent and use GPT's 5.5 Codex in the high thinking mode. And just creating those, you know, talking to your agent and telling them this is how I want you to operate moving forward. It will note that down in his memory, and that's how it will operate essentially. Mr. Baker can probably give some more alpha on that, on how subagents work by default. But that's how I've talked with my agent system, as far as like, you know, I have a visual of how I want things to work in my brain. So I just, in plain English, talk to my agent and say, hey, this needs to be a standard practice, you know, for anything I ask for or want to build, right? Also discovered that Hermes ships with a lightweight external memory provider called Holographic. Uses a simple SQLite database. Nice, nice. Check out that video from this weekend. I show the step-by-step. It's very easy to do. You can also just tell your agent you want to do it and just say, give me the steps, walk me through the process. Ooh. Interesting. Good to know. I'm going to keep an eye. So the Kanban, it's more of a project management board than it is its own individual team. To my understanding, right, the Kanban is like a single source of truth for all of your agents and agent profiles and subagents to reference off of, right? It's simply a PM board. It's a way for them to organize all of their tasks, what needs to be done, etc., etc. This one's very bare because we are still working on Product OS. I'm not at a point where I want to give it autonomous work. I've also been delaying work on Product OS for a little bit, but it's time to change that. Because I do want to get this up and running. I want to get Claw Crib self-improving overnight. Same with Prompt Browser. So yeah, going back to it, Danny. First off, happy Monday, welcome back. And thanks for the comment. Like, your team is supposed to reference that Kanban and use it as a single source of truth for tasks, right? To move things down that pipeline. It doesn't have its own team. Now, I'm sure you can configure it that way if you choose, but memory, I always have my agents duplicate their logs to Obsidian so I can have a copy easily accessible. Nice, nice. I believe News Research recently released Kanban Orchestrator skill for task delegation. Haven't gone through it yet. Just found it 30 minutes ago. Ooh, let's go check that out, huh? Oh no. Rate limit exceeded, huh? I think that's a hosting side. That's not an us side. Interesting. I don't think it was called skills. I think it was stock skills. Maybe it was /skills. Let's see. Something bad happened and you broke me. Yeah, no, that's a hosting side. That's a hosting side on their end for sure. Aha. Let's just do a quick search. Skill Hub. Nope, same thing. Yeah. Same thing. Their entire domain right now. Is that a Vercel icon? Yeah, you see this here? I'm guessing they're hosted on Vercel, so they have a rate limit issue. Kanban Orchestrator and Kanban Worker. We'll have to check these out. Because I was also thinking more and more, you know, I did a little bit of just like visualization of how I want Product OS to operate. And when I get to my agents, it's like, listen, I love the Matrix, don't get me wrong, but I think I'm going to change these names to just what they're doing. I don't want to have to like memorize which name goes to what task. You see my point? So I want to redesign my team to operate a little bit differently. So I might just have Neo, my main agent, which I'll keep him as Neo, the orchestrator. And then I'm just going to have a back end, a front end, a researcher, a marketing, etc., right? It's, I just want to simplify my brain. So that's why I haven't created too many automations. I created health checker automations for Claw Crib and Prompt Browser to make sure they're online, but that's it. That's it. I haven't done anything else. Let's see. Yeah, product maintenance, weekly feature update. This is scheduled, but we don't really have this running yet. So these are all the crons that I've set up so far. But because my OS is still under construction, I haven't spent too much time on it. Yeah, I'm trying to just simplify my life in general, so. Yo, what's going on, Derek? Happy Monday, welcome back. How you doing today? Appreciate you, Maestro. They announced an X. The reset was a sorry once they fixed whatever was causing increased error rates on Codex Friday. Good to know. What's interesting is since this update, our TUI is not loading in either the dashboard or Product OS. Very, very interesting. Let's try to spin it up on the VM itself, see what happens. Okay, it's working here. Yeah, let's wait. I want to learn, like, why did that just happen? How do we fix it? I should have him on medium, actually. I'll check after he's done, after Neo's done here, but I'm pretty sure it's medium. I found medium to be the sweet spot for me. But that's interesting. I should probably test low. I should test all three over the course of a day, maybe. You know, 3 hours for low, 3 hours for medium, 3 hours for high, 3 hours for X high, etc. Might not be a bad idea. And while he's working, I do want to do some ideation here on this week's videos. Okay, you fixed the BCC issue this morning. How you looking? Still working, huh? I'll come back to that in a second. Because the beauty of doing these live streams is I know I get ideas as we're progressing through a live stream. So we'll get to that ideation in a moment. I did 2 at one point. I found my sweet spot between 3 and 5. Maybe that's just me and my own limitations. You know what's funny with OpenClaw, at least on my personal bot that I deployed last week, that is fresh, zero context, right? Like I'm building them from scratch for my personal side of life. Medium, he was too stupid. I had to up him to high because he just wasn't executing like I would expect him to on Muddy OS. But Muddy OS has a ton of SOPs in place and rules of thumb of how I want him to think and operate, to where Medium works great on Muddy OS, but on what I'm calling Malo OS, right? Obviously personal nickname. I had to set him to high because he's just too stupid. I even told him this. It's like, this is I'm a bit confused. Yo, what's up, Aries? Happy Monday. Likewise. Appreciate you. Low is a lot like GPT-4 5.4 intelligence, so it's not bad by any means. Okay. Hey, what's up, JWRK? Happy Monday. Appreciate you. How you doing today? What are we all working on this week? For me, I have a lot of just things planned. That's why we're only live streaming. Oh yeah, if you didn't catch it last week, this week's live stream schedule is not every day. We're just going back to the old format of Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I had to schedule a bunch of stuff out Tuesday and Thursday in the mornings because I don't like Bay Area traffic. So I'm not going to schedule things in the afternoon and then sit in hours of traffic coming home. So I'd rather get things done between, 9:30 and 11:30 a.m., which is usually when I'm live streaming. This is the best time to drive as there's very minimal traffic. And shortly after lunch too. But usually by 2 or 3 p.m., everybody from the city is headed inland, and it just creates a ton of traffic. So yeah, anyway, rant over. So this week, though, I want to personally focus on getting Product OS up and running. I have a list of automations that I haven't, put into place. I want to first restructure that team, so I'm going to be working on that today. And then I want to work on creating my own scripts and fusion layers with Claude or Codex for that matter. I'll test both, but learn DaVinci Resolve more this week. Apply these teachings to this weekend's videos. And then continue to work on my personal bot. That's going to be the main focus for this week. So I'm stoked. But for anybody curious, no, I'm not replacing OpenClaw. OpenClaw is still my internal ops, my content creation. Clearmud OS, Muddy OS, that's going to stay OpenClaw. Oh, that's the video idea. I think we already created it. I just have to, I'm not following a script. I'm literally just doing the thing and seeing what happens. Where is it? Okay, yeah. I think this was like the structure of it. Maybe I'll do it. I think this will have to be it. All right. I'm gonna write thumbnail. Let me move that to the next column. We'll go into film and sort. Oh, did that? I didn't give it enough time to save. Wait a second. Why are there two identical? That's a weird bug. Did I hit that twice? I must have hit that twice originally. All right. We'll archive that one. Yeah, so that's what I'll do. One of two videos this week is migrating Muddy and team to Hermes. Now, he's not going to live there. I'm just going to do the migration just to show the start to finish with an actual, OpenClaw system that has a lot of moving parts to see what happens. but he's not going to stay on Hermes. There's just, I don't see it happening. But Hermes has earned a place, you know, in my day-to-day. For sure. Let's see what happens here. Still working. All right. We're just waiting at this point. Yo, Gabrielle. Obrigado. Cheers. Saúde. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate your support. I literally just updated it, and my TUI in my dashboard and my Product OS chat are not working. So I went into my Ubuntu VM. The TUI and the CLI is working. So I asked it, you know, figure out what's going on, troubleshoot it, find the root cause, and explain what happened. So it'll fix it for me, but I want to understand why the TUI in the built-in dashboard broke, as well as this is just an iframe that relies on this dashboard being live on this port. So if it's broken here, it's going to be broken here, right? I've been finding myself using Discord less and less since I deployed this TUI. Nice. Thank you, Mr. Baker. We'll check that out. No. I'm going to migrate for the sake of making a video around it, right? And showing the process of migrating a system that has, you know, over 30 automations and crons in place that are actually working, to see what happens, to see how it works, to see what breaks. You know what I mean? But I guess we'll see. I honestly don't think Muddy OS and Clearmud OS will live on Hermes. I'm just doing it for the sake of a demonstrative purpose, right? That way, if anybody else is looking to migrate their OpenClaw to Hermes, I have a step-by-step demo on how to do that. That's mainly the reason, is for you and for anybody else who wants to migrate. Will I stay on Hermes with Muddy OS and Clearmud OS? I don't know. But I honestly don't think so. But only time will tell. Yeah. And that's another thing. Like, I'm way too deep into building that system into OpenClaw. The amount of hours I've spent on that, like I don't have words for it, but I'm not going to replace it, right? But I love to test things, and we need a video on this channel showing people how to migrate from OpenClaw to Hermes. So what better way other than migrating our actual system that's operational and functioning, rather than a demo account that's going to be easy to migrate because there's less moving parts, right? There's less things configured. You know, a single agent system versus a multi-agent system. What happens to all the different workspaces and agent profiles? Does that actually work when you migrate, right? That's why I want to use Muddy to migrate to see what happens. I think that'll be more valuable. Interesting. Is that why? Let's see. I trust that Neo will come back and tell me that, but that would make actually some sense. That would be a bummer, though. You would think that... Wow. That's a good observation, JW. And I'm just going to call you JW until you give me your name. Because saying JWRK, it's too many syllables there. Hey, cool. Happy to hear it. Yeah. Listen, I try to think about, like, what would be a valuable demonstration, not only for me out of curiosity, but for you and for anybody else looking for that type of video. And going back to it, you know, using a demo OpenClaw account, it doesn't bring you any value because that's going to be an easy migration. There's no cron schedule. There's like very few moving parts, but using my actual daily system and migrating that gives you more value and shows you what breaks and what doesn't. I'd be shocked if it migrates everything without breaking a thing. I'm not a negative person. I'm not a pessimist, but I just highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Nothing's that perfect. All right. Quick bio break while this works. All right, let's see what happened, huh? Root cause looked like last Hermes update overwrote our previous dashboard chat fallback and put the embedded chat on a newer React Inc. TY path. What I found, the service ports are still alive. The failure was not Product OS itself. Product OS is just embedding and probing Hermes dashboard chat route. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I read faster when I don't read it out loud. That's why I stopped. But if you guys want me to read it out loud, I'd be happy to. Okay. All right. And this is, I'm going to stop right here and just share. This is why I like asking the step-by-step rather than just saying, hey, this broke, please fix it. It doesn't normally explain it in this amount of detail, but I want to have a better understanding of how this agent system works, right? So that for future issues, I know how to explain myself better when I'm asking it a question or sharing information or sharing a discovery of something that's broken. You know what I mean? So I highly recommend everybody do this as well. Just the better understanding you have of the system that you're using, the better experience that you're going to have overall, the more reliability you're going to have, in my opinion. It's just, I wouldn't just say fix it. But hey, if you don't care, then just tell it to fix it. Okay. All right, let's give it a try. Hard refresh this chat. Did I really finish all that already? I did, man. So either I need to wait until 8 a.m. to make coffee, like an hour before stream, because I made this one at, let's say it was 6:30. TY on dashboard is only a TY switch on the dashboard gateway service. I may just gateway service. I tried that before I prompted the TY in the terminal on the root Ubuntu server, or root Ubuntu desktop. It's technically not server. Yeah, exactly. I'm about to see just how much was overwritten. Yeah, so this is also another thing, is the TY should already be permanent because it's part of the system D service, right? Okay. Yeah. And this is like my approach for Product OS is, let's hard refresh this. This is why I wanted this module to just be a direct reflection of this. So we created this iframe approach. And look, it works. And then our ops module as well. So these tabs are actually just direct reflections of the Hermes agent dashboard tabs. I just have them look a little bit different. And then each product is going to have its own module. And community, this is a placeholder. It's going to have its own module. Members, it's going to have its own module. Or let me rephrase that, plugin module. That way, like, none of this, like, it will never get overwritten first and foremost. It'll always stay working configured the way I want it to be communicating and organize the data and all that. So that's like in my brain how I want to set everything up. But let's see. Yesterday, I believe we were just like fine tuning this chat bubble. Does it? Oh, I guess maybe I thought the thing, but I didn't tell it to do the thing. Interesting. Let's do it right now. All right. So for Product OS, first off, for this session, I'm talking to you through the Hermes TUI module on Product OS, which is just an iframe into the Hermes agent dashboard on port 9119 /chat. We have a floating chat bubble that's accessible across all of our other modules on Product OS, and it currently floats on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. And when I click it, the Hermes chat window, I can't resize it. So I want the functionality of being able to resize it. I also want the option to grab that header and move it. If I wanted to stick it to the bottom left-hand side of the screen, I can. Or move it to the top left or top right, I should be able to, or even in the middle. But then once you close that floating chat bubble and reopen it, by default, it should always anchor on the bottom right-hand side as it currently does. Now, keep in mind, this is all work we want to do within Product OS, right? We do not want to change anything within the Hermes dashboard itself, because as Hermes updates, that would overwrite any of that work. Please and thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. Am I the only one who still says please and thank you? I don't say it on every prompt, but I say it quite a bit. I might have to make more coffee. We might have to take a 10-minute siesta. But for now, I'm going to continue working until that glass is empty. Yeah, I think this is the smart move. And actually, that gives me an idea for a video. Now, would I record it this week? Probably not. I think this week's videos are dialed in. Custom plugin modules. I'll probably frame it instead of reskinning, or instead of Now, what would we want to do for this video, though? What would we want to build? I want to think of something useful, so I'll come back to that in a moment. Now, I also did take the time to make sure this is persistent. So when I go to my floating chat bubble, the only time it's not persistent when it'll end the session in Product OS is if I do a hard refresh on the whole OS itself, which is a bummer, but it works. It works. I sometimes say please and thank you. Yeah, for me, like I said, I'm not alone though. I'm not alone. Listen. When Skynet takes over, whatever that that network is from Terminator, they're gonna remember. They're gonna remember the ones who said please and thank you. You and I both on the whole coffee thing. I'm glad I'm not alone. Ooh, okay. You know, I haven't opened Cursor in weeks. I used to open it every day. It's good that you say please and thank you, because the revenge of the... I just read this. Hey, great minds, JW. Great minds. Oh, that's hilarious. Yep. Yeah. And I think it's a parenting thing too, you know? It's like, did your mom teach you right? Oh, man. Yeah, wow. Cursor took a while to open. It had to update. Looks like last time I was in Cursor, I was working on something called Geo Extension. Interesting. Shall we check it out? What is this? Let's spin up Claude. I'm now curious. What was I working on? I believe I have this domain and I just never did anything with it. So I think that's something we'll add to the list for Neo, is we'll have him build out Geo Extension. Damn. So I don't know if anybody else is in the San Francisco Bay Area right now, but the wind these past 24 hours or maybe even 16 to 18 hours has been insane. It's been insane. Like, I see trees bending like I've never seen them bend before. And I left this French door open and it's banging here. Let me go close it. I also added this carpet below this chair, so the chair doesn't slide as easily as it used to, so I have to like kind of crouch up. It's kind of annoying. I'll be honest with you. But at least, like, I noticed it when I was doing some yoga over there. It's a rather small studio. But like, this part of the hardware or hardwood floor is very worn out because of the chairs spinning from this desk to this desk. And I was like, all right, let me do my part in trying to preserve the floor and add a carpet there. But it's become kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, teaching the AI agent too. It's my child. Yeah. Hey, right on. Did they shut off the power for you? I believe in Northern California, I want to say like Santa Rosa, that area, I want to say they shut down the power with all these high winds just due to the fire warning. Is it super windy up there for you too? Yeah, I'm very familiar with Napa. I used to go there every week. One of my best friends growing up got a house in Roner Park. So I used to drive up there on the weekends. I'm also the godfather to his firstborn. So it's like I grew up around that family. So it's kind of like my family too. But he's like a level 2 sommelier, I believe. He's not up there anymore. He moved to Arizona to be closer to his kids. But long story short, I got to experience all of Napa, all of Sonoma, like Roner Park, that whole area, that whole North Bay. I might have been to every winery in my younger days. Not every winery, but probably 3/4 of them. Because if you're in the industry, like if you're a somm in the industry and you work at a certain winery, you're welcome to go have free wine tastings pretty much at any winery. You just have to give your business card and kind of prove that you work in one place. And I don't even think you have to prove, like, they catch the vibe if you're bullshitting them or not, you know? Yeah. Well, I hope for the best. I hope, you know, I hope we don't have a recreation of, what was it? I forget how many years ago, that devastating fire up north due to the PG power lines. Florida got some crazy wind. What is it? Just wind across the entire United States right now? What's going on? Okay, right on. Yeah, so my whole thing with San Francisco, I'm in Oakland, right over the bridge. But it's like, for me to go into the city or the South Bay, if I drive, it's an absolute mission. A lot of traffic. I would probably BART in. But yeah, I'll try. I definitely don't, I think in my 20s, I would have gone to every mixer possible. But I think now in my 30s, I've calmed down a little bit more, and I'll go to events at some point, but I'm not rushing to go to them. You know what I mean? Hospitality takes care of hospitality. Yep. Do you work in the wine industry as well? Ah, right on. Hey, Cali represent over here. Let's go. Ooh, that reminds me. Okay, I gotta get those printed for tomorrow. I used to until this year. Okay, right on. Window too small. Let's go back to the main TUI here. Yeah, there's a minor bug here that I'm now living with, and it looks like I can't actually scroll up anymore. Interesting. Makes sense. Have you, since dipping your toes and maybe you're now full-time in tech, have you thought of ways to create solutions for that industry with the power of AI? Because maybe that's a niche you can target, a path you can go down and actually create something that you can start marketing immediately, right? Because I don't know how long you've been in that industry, but you would know it very well. Let's check it out. Fourth. Okay, nice. Interesting. You might have to, Newport Beach. Ah, the patio at Rudy's. I just want to see. Let me pull it up this way. Where is that? Oh, that's South Bay. That is South Bay. Got it. Menlo Park, Palo Alto. I don't know why I thought that was going to be up here somewhere in San Francisco. Interesting. Nice. Very nice. What, if you don't mind me asking, are you basing it around an AI agent solution like Hermes or OpenClaw? Or are you using Hermes and OpenClaw as like an extension of, you know, maybe a vertical within your system, right? I'm very curious. Go get the scoop. I do not. No local models for me. On this machine, it's 32 gigs of RAM. On another old Xeon I powered up, 48 gigs of RAM plus 12 cores comfortably. And then I have this old server down there that's an octa-core, so it's 8 cores, 16 threads. And I've maxed it out at 64 gigs of RAM, but one of the drives in the RAID has crashed, and I broke the VGA port on board. So while I can boot from an external graphics, it's one of those mini ATX motherboards, so it only has one PCIe slot. And my RAID controller is in that PCIe slot. So when I remove the RAID controller and boot from that, you know, PCIe video to bypass the broken VGA port on board, I can't view the RAID controller because it's disconnected. So I found a replacement on eBay, but I'm checking in with some old colleagues to see if I can't find that old board, just to borrow one. You know what I mean? Before I go spend $300 on it. Nice. I know Atascadero very well. I went down to college in San Luis Obispo. Nice, nice. Yeah, it's all super close. I mean, it's like 2.5 hours from here, maybe 3 hours, depending on how you drive. All right, let's go back to it. Hermes agents. No, we were here. Okay. Guessing I'm gonna have to do a hard refresh on this. Yep. Hey, look at that. Nice. Oh, I can only resize it from one corner. That's okay. And you can see how it's actually a direct reflection of the dashboard. Just an iframe. Cool. Nice. All right, continuing off that last session that we had together, we were working on the floating chat bubble. So I love the drag to move. I love that we can resize it. I think that I should be able to grab the top left corner as well to resize it. Because currently I can only grab the bottom right corner to resize things. Other than that, works great, pretty solid. Thank you. And to confirm, right, for future Hermes updates, this is not going to replace any of the work we've done here locally on Product OS. You didn't change anything related to the chat app built into the Hermes dashboard, correct? Cool. Doesn't work, requires drivers. I've already tried this. Good idea, but yeah. Okay, nice. Very nice. Thanks for sharing. Oh, cool. I went to Hearst Castle. Really pretty. Yeah, it is. I've only been there when I was younger. Now that I'm older, like, I know the Hearst Castle turnoff. It's right near Cambria. Cambria is a great little beach town. I love that area. Yo, good morning, Matthew. Happy Monday. How you doing today? Nice, nice. Big week for model drops, and it's only Monday. Yep. I feel like last week, not much happened. Like all of my overnight AI pulses and my morning briefs, like the news was like, it felt stale. It didn't feel like anything exciting happened last week. Was that just me? Or did everyone else notice that too? Ah. All right, track to move. I do want to improve that. Yeah, another thing with the way I have these products listed out, it's like this PM board is actually the same as the default Kanban board. It just automatically filters per that product, right? So we're not creating any separate like sources of information to where anything can disconnect at some point. It's all based on the master Kanban board here, right? And obviously there's not much on here, but when we go in and we filter through just per product, you can see that there's one clock crib related thing in the done column. So it's time to start working on that. First, I want to make some adjustments to the team before we do any of that. Okay. Yeah. I felt the same. Enjoying your Saturday? You made me look at the calendar, man. Happy Saturday? Is it your weekend? Is that why? I know some industries have Monday, Tuesday off, so makes sense. Which makes me ask my next question. What industry are you in? I'm very curious. Actually, I already know this. All right, makes sense. Yeah. Now I know some restaurant industry, like depending on the type of restaurant and the location, you're closed Saturday, Monday, or Monday, Tuesday for that matter. But I also know that barbers, salon, like hairstylists and stuff, they generally, if I'm not mistaken, have Monday or Tuesday off, or both, or one of the two. I can't remember. Ah, okay. Right on. Yeah, makes sense. That's a good observation. Oh, let's also go see, is Hermes' website back online? Nope. Oh, wait. I probably went to something that doesn't exist. That's why. Nope. I mean, their website's online, but it's their docs section that is being rate limited right now by Marcelo. So we're kind of SOL until... Let's actually go and check that link that Mr. Baker shared in the Discord. No, rate limit exceeded still for me. Yeah, same thing. All right, we're going to continue working on Product OS just a touch, but now I'm also thinking, now I don't think this would be a good video because not everyone's going to do this. So I feel like that's by popular demand. Oh, let's actually go see its answers to my questions as well. Ooh. I'm also noticing a lot of the work we did with the ability to scroll up in a chat session in the TUI, whether we're in our chat module or, you know, the floating chat bubble. I now can't scroll up. I believe whatever work you did must have been the webserver.py. Because if I remember correctly, that's what you altered to get that to work. So let's add this to your list to fix so I can go and view your response above. I feel like if anything, I'm sure somebody's created it. Idea, build a visual team module / plugin that references the agent profiles, etc. on the core Hermes agent system that provides a traditional org chart list view, then floor plan with different layouts, and finally a 3D tab view to visualize it all. Let's see if this is possible. I don't know. Interesting idea. Nice. Nice. Yeah, and it's good that you can structure your weeks and days however you see fit, you know? Ah, that would make sense. That would make sense. I should toggle on my VPN just to see if it works, which I'm guessing it would, if it's not an issue for you. Unless, of course, you're seeing a cached version of that. It's possible. Yeah, I think this video idea might be a good one, but I'm not going to rely on Claude's prompt to pull it off. I think I'm going to talk to my Hermes agent, or one of my Hermes agent systems, because we have another one here that I've been testing with, to help me create that. There's a guy on YouTube, Codex, that managed to get around 400 or 40 TKS transactions per second. Not transactions. What's the I'm having a brain fart right now. But that's fast on a 1660. Interesting. Nice. I've been actually looking at older video cards because I don't want to upgrade this desktop behind me to the latest and greatest, just because of budget. And I was looking at that generation. Interesting. Yeah, I was thinking mining. I was thinking hash rate, to be honest. All right, we're gonna wait for this to finish. I'm gonna go boil some water, and I'll be right back. This French press is a process. We gotta first boil the water, but I do need a fresh pot of coffee. So while this is working, we're kind of a sitting duck. Let's also go and finish this one here. I'm just gonna go with strategy 1 because I know I'm not gonna follow it to a T. And also, we squirreled, set up preview on port 7744. And we'll go back here in the meantime. All right, BRB. Had to clean out. Now, in the meantime, we'll have to get up one more time. Looks like he's still working here. Oh, events feed disconnected. Man, am I gonna have to do a hard refresh on this? It does look like this is frozen, doesn't it? All right. Ah, it's a bummer. I've always been Team NVIDIA and Team Intel over AMD. Should honestly archive that part of the desktop as well. Place. Water is almost done boiling. All right, let's go see. What was this about? I think I know what it was about, but I don't know what this project specifically was. Oh, interesting. It was the landing page for a Chrome extension. Well, this is actually a pretty cool looking landing page. I would definitely change the text. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, listen, that's a project I'm going to hand off to Neo and team, but I don't know if I'm going to hand off that code base, to be honest. Hey, good to hear. Congrats. Yeah, I know AMD has stepped it up quite a bit since I retired from the IT industry, but I know that their processors are actually outperforming Intel in most cases. But, you know, and I hope they've solved it, but AMD was notorious for overheating and crashing early on. Like, you know, in the 2010 era, that decade. AMD was, yeah, sure, it was the way to go if you wanted to spend as little as possible, right? But you had to deal with a lot of overheating issues and just overall just less reliable systems, right? Some people would get lucky, of course. But for the most part, Intel was the reliable approach, especially in B2B, SMB, all the builds we were doing for clients. Intel, there was just no issues, no overheating issues whatsoever. I'm team whatever works best for the job. Yeah, I feel it. So that's still their MO. Okay. Delete that group. Close that tab. All right. While he's working there, coffee's almost ready. All right. Give that delay. It was a necessity. It was a necessity. Let's give that about 2 minutes. Hey, Tracy. Yeah, this is a great question. I do plan on it. I think I'm not going to rush it, but I promise that it won't be 5 weeks long. If anything, we'll just knock it out in a sprint. So if I take 5 days to do it or 5 live streams to do it, we'll do that Monday through Friday. So we'll ideally, I'd love to do it in just one day, but I can't promise that. Really depends on the day. But if you can, just drop a comment below as far as like, what do you want to see me cover in this bootcamp? Because first, before I do any bootcamp, I want to build out Product OS. That's my priority. But I would love to know like what specifically do you want to see so I can add it to my list and kind of build out a curriculum for that bootcamp for Hermes Agent. All right, nice fresh. Ooh, this is about to be hot, huh? Beautiful. Let me catch up on comments. I know it's gone for a little bit. Do they? Yeah, listen, I've been out of the industry for quite a bit of time, 5 years is a long time to not be in it every day. And I guess 6 years now almost at this point. And a lot changed, from what I understood. Like AMD is the go-to instead of Intel. That AMD are more power efficient than Intel when Intel used to have that one up on AMD. Okay. Yeah. Ooh. Yo, what's up? And Keitra, welcome back. How you doing today? 13th and 14th. On thermal throttle until they hit 90. Okay. That's crazy. We're already on 13. My goodness. 13, 14. You think they would just come up with a new family name to go off of, but no, it's they're just upping the number. Hey, I'm happy to hear this, Tracy. Happy to hear this. Yeah, just let me know specifically what do you want to see covered in the curriculum. I think, off the top of my head, the way a Hermes bootcamp would be structured as of now, we would start a build from start to finish, and we would have a team in mind. And then we would obviously build out that team, create certain SOPs, certain rules of operation, set up some automations, and make sure that the Kanban is the single source of truth, so that the agents check in on a daily basis and automatically do the work rather than having you hold your agent's hand and say, hey, why haven't you done this yet? Which is most people's issues, right? So I think that would be my approach behind a Hermes agent bootcamp is, we set it up with GPT 5.5, and then we build out the team, and then we automate the team, and we do it all within this dashboard. And I think also teaching you how to create your own plugins, which would be a fun one, right? Which is really just prompting your agent, referencing the docs and saying, hey, I'd like to build X, Y, and Z that operates based off of our config, right? So that the module doesn't need to be updated every time you make a change to your config. I think that would be a key feature to incorporate into that build. But I digress. I'm glad you're excited for it. And just stay tuned. I'll make an announcement as soon as I have a plan and a set date to start that one. I'd imagine by the end of the month, though, for sure. Nice. Scrolling is fixed. Sweet. Scrolling's fixed, and I didn't have to hard refresh it. That's wonderful. All right, great. Solid. I didn't even have to hard refresh and I can scroll up. This is great. Now, I want to adjust our team. I want to simplify our team. So when I go into the Hermes agent dashboard and profiles, it actually doesn't even load. Let me do a hard refresh on the Hermes agent. Okay, it does load. So we currently have, including the default, we have 9 agents. That's too much. I want to consolidate down to 4 to start, and then we can build out. I think we're very ambitious with this plan and this team. I think less is more, and simple is gonna allow us to actually be more effective. So keep Neo, trash everything else. Well, keep Neo and Cypher, because I don't want to have to reconfigure Cypher here. Keep Neo and Cypher and Morpheus and Trinity. Scratch everything else. And I want to go back to the drawing board with our agents, right? So I want to think from the perspective of a C-suite team, right? We have our engineering team, we have our marketing team, and our revenue team, our growth team, right? Hold on, let me pull on some notes here. This is going to be a very long brain dumpish prompt, but I want to add a few notes here. Okay. Let me actually end this voice to text. I don't want to send it all that. That was a bit ridiculous. We're past the point of brain dumping. Let's go to Google Keep, create. Go back to Product OS. And listen, this may not stick, but this is what we're going to start with here. Awesome. This is great, Tracy. Thank you. Stoked. Thanks for the comment and showing the interest. You know, the more people who comment about the Hermes Bootcamp, the sooner it'll come, essentially. Yeah, I think what I'm also going to do with my team, I haven't mentioned it yet, is, you know, Neo's going to stay Neo, the orchestrator, but then I actually don't want to speak too soon. Let's go back to this chat here. So I think obviously, right, first, before you do anything, create a backup of our agent profiles. However, you know, it's important you reference all of the planning docs that we spent, you know, the better part of 2 weeks planning out. That breaks down all 9 agents. So I think you have enough to remove it with confidence, but please don't forget to reference those docs before I'm making any critical changes. This is essentially how I want, you know, our Hermes agent team to work. Neo is the default. Rather, it actually looks like Neo isn't even the default. We have a default agent, and then we have Neo. And then we have Morpheus, Cypher, and Trinity, who I'd like to keep. One I would like to be marketing, one I would like to be engineering head, and then growth, or call it revenue head. And then Neo being my executive assistant, or also, you know, COO, so to speak. And then down the road, we can always create separate profiles for the engineering team to have its own C-suite team of engineers. But first I want to focus on the upper level management, so to speak, right? I want to create this type of structure, and then we can revisit these other agent profiles down the road. But I really want to simplify things, and that's what started this prompt with you. Hope that answers it. Let me know if you have any questions. This is also about to be a rough week for recording videos and live streamings. Like, this apartment's already heating up. I think it's supposed to get into the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, in this part of the bay. Let's see. Oh, my phone's still on Celsius. Okay, 70s. 70s, it might touch into the 80s. Okay. Man, in years past, like, when it gets to heat waves of like 100 and high 90s, I wouldn't get any work done in this. I'd have to go to my Jeep. I'd have to go up into the into the hills, blast the AC, and work off my laptop. That'll be the move. Or obviously go to a coffee shop with AC. All right, let's go back to this one, add it to the calendar, view this video. This would obviously be Hermes focused. Yeah, for some reason I read the meter wrong. I thought it was gonna be in the 30s Celsius, but it's only in the 20s. So that's about 70 to 80. It's usually that range. Once you hit 30 degrees Celsius, that's when you're in the 90s plus, if I'm not mistaken. I still don't know the exact conversion. Interesting. This looks new. What is this? This is source context from the... Interesting. That must have been a self-improvement. I don't remember that. I think this is the move right here. I like that one the most. And then we just vibe the process of building one from scratch. Okay. Nice, nice. Oh, I scrolled up. Let's scroll down a little bit, make sure. And I think we might as well start working with Muddy. Interesting. What is this session? New session. All right, I think it's time we start working on a bootcamp curriculum. The second one, you know, we had the OpenClaw Bootcamp Season 1. This Bootcamp Season 2, we got to revisit this name. But instead of doing OpenClaw, we're going to do a Hermes agent bootcamp where we build a Hermes agent system from scratch with at least 4 agent profiles. You know, we'll build off of the curriculum, but, you know, instead of, you know, thinking about lessons learned from our first bootcamp, I do not want to spread this over the course of 5 weeks. If we need 5 episodes, we should just do it in a week. We should do a 5-day sprint, right? Where we live stream this every single day. Or we just do one long episode and just pack it all into 10 or 12 hours. I prefer the 5-day approach, but I'm open to your feedback. So I want you to structure this season 2 around all the information I just shared. And then I'm going to give you a link. I'm not sure if you can access it right now, but it's a link to the docs for Hermes Agent. That was my brain fart was, hey, we're back. Cool. Focus for bootcamp, set up and build multi-agent team with Hermes Agent. So for our website, let's archive our existing bootcamp page. We should create a library system, maybe archive it over to resources, because I believe we did create a bootcamp section here. So we're essentially saving that page so people can reference it. But for the new bootcamp, just do a coming soon page, use our front end design skill, and just say Hermes Agent Bootcamp coming very soon. Subscribe, and that's it. And deploy that right away. And then obviously, when we're working on this curriculum, work out of the Clearmud OS Bootcamp tab, where we have our bootcamp library set up. All right, somebody's gonna get to work. I won't focus too much on that on this live stream. I want to get back to this one here. Let's see how, okay, these agents are still here. Okay. Backup is done. I did not remove or modify any live profiles. All right. All right, so some notes here. Wouldn't we want Neo to be our default? Please explain the benefit of having Neo with his own agent profile when, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I spin up a Hermes TUI session, the default agent profile gets invoked, correct? And then going down to Morpheus, you put Cypher underneath Morpheus. That makes no sense. I think Morpheus should be our researcher. Trinity should be our... That actually makes no sense from a character perspective. Dang. Maybe for the sake of simplicity, let's just call it engineering, marketing, and growth. And then we could apply a name to them later. Right? So aside from Neo, Neo is the executive assistant. You keep him named. But for 3, 4, and 5, then remove number 6. It's engineering, marketing, and growth. Rather, call it revenue. Yeah, I think if we keep Morpheus, he would directly report to Neo and he would be that researcher. But I want to simplify this team first and foremost and then build it out. Because I believe we'll have a better experience taking this approach. And make sure you analyze all of our past documentations and consolidate, right? Like, we're removing a lot of agent profiles here. So I want you to, not only when you consolidate these agent profiles and rename them, etc., you know, create that new plan for me to visualize everything and give me an HTML link to preview, please. Cypher was right all along, just saying. I gotta rewatch the trilogy, to be honest. I gotta rewatch it. Look at how he spelled Morpheus. That's just unacceptable. That's unacceptable, right? Alright, still hasn't done any work yet. No, he's still working. Alright. Guess we'll just focus on Product OS for now, huh? I think I'm remembering now. He wanted to live that lie. And since that's working, I'm gonna go. Sorry, I can't show you guys this one. Look, loving how this personal one is coming together. Oh, golly. DVDs, man, if you said VHS. Hey, I appreciate you, Maestro. Yeah, how's everyone liking this new format? This super casual, just watch me work. We just pick something to work on and we work. Do you like it? Yay or nay? Throw a 1 in chat if you like it, a 2 in chat if you don't. Yeah, I do too. I do too. Well, I already sent him off on a mission to make Neo the default, so that's a very good observation and very good point, though. And through this next week or two of building out Product OS and working on it every day and visualizing how I want this team to work, I'm going to revisit that. I'm going to revisit that by the time we do our boot camp, for sure. Because that's very smart. The only thing I didn't like was the disconnect in the TY. Oh, you'll see in a second. Oh, that's because it's not on loopback. Shoot, what was the IP? I think it's 179. Oh, it's 107. I was way off. How about that? Oh, it literally gave me the LAN link right there. Doi. Okay. Now, I am live streaming right now, and Mr. Baker, shout out Mr. Baker in chat, he did mention that each agent profile could have its own dashboard. Can you please, A, discover this, B, enable it if it's not enabled by default, and C, give me links for each of the agent profiles as we currently have them configured so that I can go see for myself. Shout out Mr. Baker. I remember your comment early on. All right, good to know. Good to know. Oh, literally right as I'm typing it in there or voice to texting it. Have to hop on. Thank you for everything. We'll rejoin if this is still going. If not, see you on the next one, possibly. Hey, let's go. Cross-eyed Sensei. Thank you for taking time. Happy Monday. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And yeah, this week it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for our live streams. So we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers. I want to see how this works and looks because now I'm curious. Let's see, where's Muddy at? Okay, Muddy's still doing the work. Let's go back to up. Hey, let's go, Derek. Welcome back. We're just vibing. You skipped a lot of intermissions. No worries there. I had to make a fresh pot of French press, so I was AFK for quite a few minutes. Need to hide that real quick. All right, let's go take a look really quickly. Oh yeah. So I think this is great and all. Okay, but the Kanban is unified. Got it. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So one thing I did notice is, so are all of the plugins and modules synchronized? From what I could tell, the Kanban board has the same items across every agent. I haven't checked every agent. I just randomly selected a few agent dashboards. Like, give me the pros and cons. Give me the benefits to operating out of all of these separate agent dashboards, because to me, I think it makes sense for a very complex system. However, it might complicate things for someone just starting out. So create a pros and cons checklist for me, and based off of all the research, all of the planning that we've done, my goals for Product OS, like, should we use different agent dashboards, or should we just continue to build out the one for what we want to accomplish? Yeah, that's pretty slick. That's pretty slick. Now I'm just curious. I want it to do the research for me. Yeah, really though. Interesting. That's a great benefit right there. Yeah, you just set it up. I just prompted and said, hey, I'd like to, I understand that each agent profile can have its own dashboard. Is that enabled? If not, please enable it and link me everything. That's essentially what I said, almost word for word. Mr. Baker with the alpha over here. Yeah, now I am leaning towards leaving the default as default, right? For administrative work on the system itself. And then having your own agent profile for your COO, your orchestrator. Like, yeah, I'm loving this more and more. Give me an HTML doc with a pros on the left and the cons on the right, please. Simplify it. I don't want to go read through that wall of text. I want you to create an HTML doc and make it digestible for me, please. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, and I wouldn't think you would want every single agent, but I think from the perspective of a C-suite team or upper level management team, yes, have its own agent profile with its own dashboard and its own set of skills. But then underneath them, I don't think you would need to do that for any agents you deploy underneath that department head, so to speak. Been focusing on my small personal builds lately. I feel like I'm 10 years behind on OpenClaw and Hermes. Yay, let's go. Mr. Baker with the Hermes Alpha. Oh yeah, I didn't see the E, and I'm also not a dad, so I didn't get the dad joke. I don't want to have to navigate to the file, just link it. That should be a rule of thumb. I mean, this in itself is a great video. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Yeah, that's why I want to simplify the team. All right, great. Thank you for that pros and cons list. Now let's go back to consolidating our team, right? I don't think we finished that work. I think we squirrel brained and went off track. Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly how I'm envisioning mine, to be honest. Well, I love how our head's in the same spot here. I heard about it. I heard about controlling Codex from your mobile, but I haven't personally tested that yet. Because if I'm being brutally honest, like, I think it's great that Claude and Codex are allowing you to Claude code on the go. But if you have an OpenClaw or Hermes multi-agent team built out, I just I just send a voice note to my either Muddy or Neo now, and they build the thing for me. I don't have to go into the app and like, you know, type things in or voice to text within the app. I just talk to my executive assistants across each agent system, and they just go build the thing by the time I get home, by the time I get to a laptop or a desktop. So for me, thanks for sharing it with the audience, Ryan, but like, and this is not me like shitting on your comment or anything. It's just like, it's me shitting on Codex and Claude for creating these mobile first solutions. Because it's like, if you have a multi-agent team built out, or just if you're using OpenClaw and Hermes and you can talk to it via voice notes, you don't need those solutions, right? Because we have a team of agents who will do it for us. I think it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool. It's nifty, all that. But this should go without saying, I'm probably not going to make videos around these mobile solutions for Codex and Claude because I don't see the benefit. I'll never use them. You know what I mean? Like, I use my agent systems more than anything. Nice, nice. But yeah, for anybody curious, ChatGPT app in Codex, you can build stuff just like you can with the Claude app and Claude code in the cloud, or I believe, or something along those lines. I remember testing it once, but to me, it was like OpenClaw was fresh. I already saw the power in that. I'm like, I don't see me spending time in the Claude mobile app to build these things when I could just send a voice note to my agents and they handle it for me. Like that's just my approach. Okay, nice. Hey, and see, I'm glad it works for you, and I'm glad you're finding value in that for sure. Yeah, one little tip I have is if you do want a mobile friendly, you know, experience with your agents, set up a Telegram channel, and enable voice to text, enable them to be able to transcribe via, you know, a Whisper. I think you don't need to pay for OpenAI Whisper. You don't need to attach an API. There's a free open source solution, but I literally drop a voice note if I'm driving, if I'm on the go, if I, you know, don't want to do voice to text. It transcribes the voice note and then takes action on whatever I say. Oh, really? Ooh. Yeah, that too. Dispatch pretty near for me to access my Mac from my iPhone. Nice. All right, let's continue this build here. We got sidetracked. Wait, that's a big list of all right, keep all of our planning docs, but as I mentioned before, I want to simplify our team. So Mr. Baker, you have me thinking now. All right, here's how I want our system to operate. Sorry to go back and forth. I want us to still keep that default profile for administrative purposes, as well as API purposes to link to Product OS, to serve as a single source of truth for data, right? For shared data. Then I want Neo to have his own agent profile. He's our COO. He's my executive assistant. He's my go-to. So I may need to reconfigure our Discord channel with him. Then we want to have an engineering head, a marketing head, and a revenue head. So that's essentially 3 department heads. Then down the road, we can explore deploying separate agents or minions below those department heads. But I think to start, having these 4 agent profiles with their own dashboards, with their own workspaces, they should default to the default agent's profile API and OAuth usage, etc. And then as we fine tune this team of 4, we can get a little bit more specific with what models they use, etc., etc. Does that make sense? Yeah, me too, Ruben. Me too. This is why this is a great little workaround to having the Hermes agent TUI in your dashboard. It's just like I'm operating out of the TUI in the terminal. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Yeah, honestly, Mr. Baker, I'm loving this more and more. Having the default be the admin and API and like source of truth profile to where you connect things, you configure things via backend. And then having Neo be my main, right? I only go to my default when I need to. I'm loving this more and more. So then we have an engineering head and a marketing head and a revenue head. Now, I feel like we should give them names. So in a matrix environment, like, I feel like Link, let me think about this. Do I want to keep this matrix themed? Man, you know, I normally end streams right around this time, but I don't want to end the stream right now. I'm kind of thinking like either Switch or Architect should be our CTO. I know the Architect is the architect of the entire Matrix, and you only discover that, you know, obviously not in the first movie, but I'm kind of thinking Switch. I mean, Architect makes more sense for him to be engineering, right? All right, so I do want to give these department heads a name. So for our engineering head, let's call him the architect or architect, and that's our CTO. For our marketing head, what do you guys think? Trinity or Oracle? I'm kind of thinking Oracle should be our revenue, our CRO, our chief revenue officer, or chief growth. The lady in the red dress. LITRD. I don't know if I like that acronym for an agent. No. Telegram with a group chat and forum. You know, it's funny. I haven't set up Telegram for Hermes at all. I only set up Telegram for my OpenClaw agents, but maybe I'll have to test that. because that's not a bad idea, because I'm already in Telegram in my bot section for my personal one and then Muddy. But maybe I do create a thread. Maybe I'll have to test it. I'll have to test it. Kind of. I mean, I'm just building my own team. I think Paperclip was a great solution for that. But listen, I just never went down that path because I built what Paperclip offers from scratch with OpenClaw. Like, I just never needed it. No shade on it, but I think I've shared my thoughts about the Paperclip founder. Listen, if you want to remain anonymous, there's a reason for it. Like, I think you would want to be known for creating something game-changing and something that is going to be used by enterprise and big businesses across the world. But I highly doubt that enterprise and big businesses will trust a founder who stays anonymous. I don't like, what do you have to hide? Like, that's my only gripe with the Paperclip founder. If he was known, I would have probably taken it more serious. But to me, it's just like, and I want to choose my next words carefully. It's like, it just reminds me of a crypto scam. That's all. Like, if you want to stay anonymous, great. But like, I immediately, associate that with a crypto scam. It's just, I have no nice way to put it. Hey, thanks for welcoming Ruben. Yeah, welcome Ruben. Was Tank an engineer? Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's actually a very good point. Man, you're making me think here. You're making me think here. So I think we have, I think I'm going to call it a growth head or a CGO. Yeah, listen, nothing against them. It's just like, listen, I'm not going to trust in someone who's not going to, yeah, I'll stop there. See, this is why I need to rewatch the trilogy. It's been so long. I still like the idea of the architect being our CTO, though. Because for me, it's how my brain works. When I think architect, like, I immediately think engineering, front end, back end. Okay, nice. I wouldn't expect it to be that different, And I've had a great experience with, listen, when I'm on the go, that's how I communicate with my OC agents. And then I've been finding myself going into Discord a little bit more and more. Although I usually lock in when I'm back at the office for Hermes related stuff. But I also am not spending nearly as much time in it yet. let's call our marketing head Mouse. That's our CMO. And then I think we should rename the revenue head to, let's call it a chief growth officer. And I like the idea of that being Morpheus. And then I want to do a chief research officer, and we're going to make that Oracle. All right. And for anybody curious, I chose Mouse because Mouse is the creator of the lady in the red dress. So if you think about it, yes, the lady in the red dress would be great for marketing, but who's the creator of the lady in the red dress? That's Mouse. So I don't know if it's going to stick, but that's what I've set on for now. I just don't know how I feel about the name Mouse as a chief of staff. You know what I mean? Like, imagine in the corporate world, someone named Mouse. I kind of want to put Trinity in here somewhere though, but like, Oracle makes the most sense, research and intelligence. Neo is my coordinator. That's just my go-to. Architect is engineering. Maybe I put Trinity and replace Mouse with Trinity. And then we have kind of like our OGs, or 3 OGs, plus, you know, these 2 elders. Listen, we're building this team together. I'm kind of digging it. Because also, if you think about it, Trinity, doesn't Trinity really like sell Neo on becoming the one, or of him being the one? Or is that more Morpheus, would you say? I have to rewatch this trilogy, but if I remember correctly, like Trinity was a driving force in Neo kind of accepting that and learning that, oh, obviously Oracle too, but and Morpheus played a big role in that too, but I feel like Trinity in a way could be our CMO. It just doesn't fit that well. I don't know. Yeah, I also don't want to like let these names affect it too much. I'm more focused on structuring this like an actual organization. So having the COO, the CTO, the CMO, the CRO, and the CGO, right? And then obviously adding more at some point too. Like once we get comfortable, I think a chief content officer as well. So like, but I want some names to stick in my head. Architect and Oracle make the most sense where they're at. Neo makes the most sense where they're at. The 2 I'm on the fence of are Mouse and Morpheus. Ah, that's right. Trinity is just the one. She's like the chauffeur at the beginning of the first movie. I think if anything, she had a little bit of resentment because she wanted to be the one. No? I really have to go rewatch that trilogy. Because she didn't believe. You're right. At first, she did not believe. She was not happy that that was her job to pick him up. She was not happy at the fact that this young programming kid is going to save us, right? I remember that about her in the first movie. Yeah, let me just keep revisiting it. What you gonna? Oh, she's currently not on our team. But listen, I don't want to go get slapped by Will Smith. So what was her name in the movie? Who was she? I forget. Was it? I'm trying to remember. Was it Z? I also forgot about Neil Patrick Harris being in there. Wow. The analyst as well. It's actually a great name for a department head. Damn it. I know we love these OG names, but I'm also like, I feel like the analyst should be the growth in revenue head, just because it makes the most sense name-wise. And then I think marketing minions, right? The girl in the red dress, Bugs, just to name a few. And then maybe Will Smith's wife. I think those would be our 3 marketing minions. You know what I mean? Really though. I'm gonna watch it over the course of these next week or 2 for sure. Keep her name out. Niobe, that's right, Niobe. Nice. So, yeah, I don't know if I would create an agent profile for that, to be honest. I feel like our default should handle that. Right? Maybe we give our default a name, but shout out Mr. Baker for, you know, bouncing the idea back and forth. Like leaving the default alone, especially if you start creating your own dashboard that you want to link to your Hermes agent dashboard as a single source of truth. I think it's solid to have for API purposes, shared data profile, as well as just an administrative profile if something else breaks. That's solid. We're definitely going to take this approach in the bootcamp. And then I think for the sake of the boot camp, we're just going to call it COO, CTO, CMO. We might get creative with a theme. We might. All right. So I think instead of Morpheus for our CGO, you know what? I'm going to leave the team as is. Yeah, team looks good to me. Neo, COO, Architect, CTO, Mouse, CMO, Morpheus, CGO, Oracle, CRO. What next? I know, there's just so many good characters. Like, I don't want this team to get to the point where it becomes a headache. I want to simplify it. I think I'm going to end up changing Mouse and Morpheus, to be honest, but just for the sake of building them out, I landed on those names for now because I like them. If anything, if we have a belief-oriented officer, that's Morpheus, right? Like, but there's no such thing. Okay. Everything looks good. I want you to execute every single one of these steps. And then once you're done, I want you to update our... Actually, just do that first. Do that first. Ah. I think it defaults to like, if I remember, there's like Scout, there's Envoy, there's, I honestly kept a lot of those names because to me, it didn't matter. I was more focused on making sure that it operates in a certain way. So whatever name it recommended, sometimes I would select a custom name for a certain agent, or I would reallocate a certain subagent's name for another subagent. But for the most part, I left it all default. The only thing I named was my C-suite team. All right. Okay, cool. Let's go check. Muddy finished. Nice. Bootcamp Season 2, Hermes Agent Bootcamp is coming very soon. Wonderful. I'll have to give it the Hermes Agent banner at some point. Let's go check this one here. Looks like nothing happened here. Huh. All right, solid. You did a good job on the resources page. It's good enough for now. Whatever happened, didn't I tell you to also edit and create a default curriculum in the Clearmud OS Bootcamp tab? That looks unchanged to me, unless we have to restart that dev server. I'm literally thinking the same thing. Time for a workout and some food. Great minds with the key maker. You know, this would have been the smarter move to save time for sure. Very good observation. But you know what? I don't always want to follow the logical approach. I really wanted to like pick a name in my brain that resonates with the job title. That's why still Mouse and Morpheus do not fit those roles. But the other three do fit. But very good suggestion. Listen, I agree with you. That would have been the move. I mean, you speak facts. You speak facts. Nice, nice. Yo, what's up, Pokemon? I'm liking it. I'm liking it now that I'm settled in. You know, the first 10 days, I had to deal with renovations and all these tasks that were unexpected, to be honest. Now I'm dealing with other things, but it feels like I have a home again. It feels like I have an office, dedicated space again. So it feels good. The creative energy I have here is unparalleled, for sure. And the laboratorial mindset of like experimentation, I have way more access to tools and resources here than I did in Portugal, for sure. So I'm loving it. Thanks for asking. And honestly, having my kitchen a hop, skip, and a step away, not having to go upstairs from the basement in Portugal, is nice. It's definitely nice. Yeah, I know, right? He should be, but I like the idea of having Neo be my COO, my executive assistant. So it's just more of a personal preference, right? I know we just spent a lot of time on naming. Like, listen, I would recommend don't spend that much time on naming your agents. Just name them whatever task they're doing. But I know that this one's gonna stick, so I really wanted to spend a lot of time just going back and forth with some fellow Matrix lovers here. Plus, we squirreled a little bit. Exactly. Dude can stop bullets, redirect them into any freaking path. Like, if that's not an orchestrator, I don't know what is. You can you can redirect the path of a bullet into any direction you want it to go. Come on. Like, that's my guy. I agree. Squirrel is honestly a great name, but does it fit into this ecosystem? Probably not. Maybe I'll create a squirrel bot for the Discord at some point, but who controls them? OpenClaw or Hermes? I don't know. I'm not sure. Since you've been working with Hermes and OC now for a bit, what are your takeaways? Listen, OC is here to stay. OpenClaw is here to stay, especially if you've spent a lot of time on structuring, you know, a multi-agent team with a lot of SOPs in place and a ton of automations in place. Like, it's here to stay. I love them both. I still need to spend more time in Hermes, but key takeaways. I love Hermes's reliability when it comes to its gateway. OpenClaw's gateway on occasion. Now, I can't speak with my personal bot. It's actually been on no issues 24/7. But with the OpenClaw setup that I've had for months and that my internal and day-to-day operations are running off of, it's not as reliable as a Hermes agent gateway. That's one thing I'm noticing off rip. Foamy the squirrel. I don't know this character. I'll have some more key takeaways for you. Once I get Product OS up and running, once I set up at least 20 to 30 automations, then I'll have a little bit more to speak on key differences. But I've been loving the experience with Hermes, but it's not going to replace OpenClaw for me. I don't see that happening at all. I think they both serve their purpose. They both have their strengths. They both have their weaknesses. And I'll eventually come out with a video highlighting those. But for now, I want to build out Product OS, and I want to get this fully functional before I even schedule a boot camp or do that comparison video. I'm also thinking something should always be on this monitor behind me. I feel like it's wasted space. I don't know. Maybe something Clearmud related. Because right now I have a vertical monitor right there that just has some random... well, that was weird. I hit my keybind to go to full screen. I think because I think I just wanted to show this, but OBS crashed. Interesting. So sorry about that little hiccup there. I think because I think I just wanted to show this. Yeah. Whoops. All right, we're back. Ooh. You know what's funny with my old... It's actually in that rack now. It's headless now, but it used to have that Matrix screensaver. That's so funny. That's a great idea. Freaking great idea. I'm on it. I'll have it on for Wednesday's live stream. Yeah, solid. Hey, listen, I think as much as I want to keep working, I do want to switch gears and cook some lunch, do a quick workout, and then get back to work on Product OS. So I think this is a great place to end it. Listen, we've been vibing. Been just kind of working naturally out of both OpenClaw and Hermes Agent, having some fun today, vibing with the audience. So I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Thank you for spending your time with me on your Monday. Shoot. So my stream ended, so I can't go back and pin all the comments. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Nice. Yeah, so I think this is a great place to end it. So I want to thank everybody. Ooh, I still have my YouTube live chat open. So I can't pin all your comments though, but thank you, Danny. Thank you, Maestro. Thank you, Baker. Thank you, Pokemon. Oh, we can show that one. I just noticed that was held. Thank you, SG. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Ruben. Welcome. Thank you, Cross-Eyed Sensei. And thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Ankitra. Thank you, JW. Oh, was there another message blocked here? I don't know why it's moderating you, Mr. Baker. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Fourth. And I think that's everyone. So yeah, listen, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for spending your Monday with me. We'll be back at it on Wednesday, same time. So until then, happy building. Cheers.